morning, students. How are you all? I hope you're all fine and doing good. So, students, today I have come up with a new chapter from your book, An Alien Hanged. Okay, and so today we are going to learn a new chapter by the name The Desert. Clear? So, now let us have a look about the desert. Okay, so before proceeding towards the chapter, first of all, I would like to show you a picture of deserts. Yes, can you see this picture? This is a picture of desert. So, what do you find here in the picture? You find here that the picture contains a stretch of sands. Okay, here you find nothing but sands and you find some trees. Okay, you can find some trees, you can find some herbs and you can find some animals. Okay, so the animal which can survive here according to the picture is camels. Okay, and there are few green trees and green shrubs. Clear? So now we always think that desert is a very hot place. Nobody can survive. Yes or no? We have the imagination that it is a wasteland, that desert are not useful to human beings. Okay, we all have this opinion, but this chapter will clear your doubt. Okay, will clear all your negative thoughts. So, in this chapter, we will be able to understand and we will be able to learn that what are the uses of deserts. Okay, so now let us have a look at the chapter. Okay, now see here. Yes, many people hold the opinion that a desert is nothing more than an endless stretch of land. Okay, so many people, they hold the opinion, they think that desert is nothing more than an endless stretch of land. Endless means the thing which does not end. Okay, that means it goes on increasing more and more. That is called endless. That the thing which do not end. Okay, that is called endless. Now, stretch means having an equal part on both the sides. Okay, like when we pull the rubber, when we pull a hairband, what do we observe? We observe that the hairband, it stretches on both sides equally. Okay, that is called stretch. So, here this means that desert is an endless stretch of land. Okay, that means everywhere there are desert. Okay, I mean only in the place of desert. Okay, so the people, they think that desert is an endless stretch of land. Okay, and that also what kind of land? Wasteland. Clear? Next, furthermore, people have this impression of deserts that they are dry, thin, waterless, hot and without shelter. So, all of us, we have this opinion. Most of us, we have this opinion that deserts are dry. That means there is no rain, very thin atmosphere. Okay, that means it becomes very cold and very hot at the same time. It has the ability to change. Okay, it is waterless, means having no water. It is very hot and without shelter. So, all of us, we think that there is no shelter. So, why do we think that there is no shelter? Because there is absence of trees. Okay, having no trees makes the area very hot, no shelter. Fine, we all are having this opinion. Yes or no? Okay. So, people hold a negative opinion about desert. So, here the writer says that people hold a negative opinion about desert. That means he tries to tell that what we think that desert are dry, thin, waterless, hot and without shelter are all wrong. Okay, it is no such thing. A desert is a very beautiful place the writer wants to tell, okay, through this chapter. Clear? Okay, now let us look in the next page. Okay. Yes, now see. In contrast to general opinion, deserts are beautiful places on earth. Okay, so what opinion do we hold? We hold the opinion that deserts are wasteland. It is not a useful place. It is hot, dry, waterless and so on. Okay, but the thing is that in contrast to general opinion, deserts are beautiful. So, the thing is that deserts are really beautiful places on earth. Furthermore, deserts are home to a variety of plants and animals. Okay, and if we talk more about desert, then we can say that deserts are home to a variety of plants and animals. That means there are varieties of plants and animals who could survive in such a hot place, in such a hot land. Clear? So, you will learn in the next stanzas and in the next paragraph that how are they able to survive. Okay? Now, see. I repeat, furthermore, deserts are home to a variety of plants and animals. It is certainly a rare precious sight where desert bloom exists as rainfall takes place. Okay. So, here it is certainly rare. Okay. It is very rare. Rare means which could not be seen oftenly. ठीक है, जो हमेशा हर वक्त हमें देखने को नहीं मिलता है. रेयर मीन्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू फाइंड और वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू एक्सेस. दैट इज कॉल्ड रेयर. सो इट इज सर्टेनली अ रेयर precious site. Okay, and the site is very precious because whenever there is rainfall, okay, the desert blooms very beautifully. Fine. That means now let me show you with the help of diagram. Okay. So, now let us consider that this is desert. Okay. We think that there is no rainfall, but actually when the rain falls, okay, then what happen at a time? The shrubs or the trees, it grows. Okay. So, it means that the desert bloom. Okay, bloom means khil uthna. Fine. So, it is certainly a rare precious sight where desert bloom exists as rainfall takes place. Is it clear to all now? Okay. Now, no difference exists between the desert and tropical land. Okay. The writer says that to be true, there is no difference that lies between the desert and the tropical land. Clear? Fine. So, there is no difference between the desert and tropical land. Now, see, deserts are filled with hills or mountains, okay, but not necessarily a flat land. Okay. So, now we can also see hills and mountains in deserts. It is not that the desert is a barren land. Okay. Deserts are also filled with hills or mountains and not necessarily a flat land. जरूरी नहीं है कि वो हमेशा वहाँ का लैंड फ्लैट होना चाहिए, सीधा होना चाहिए. There can be hills and mountains too. Fine. Next, the important point is that an oasis lies in the desert. You can find an oasis in the desert. And what is an oasis? An oasis is similar to a green island that can one find in the middle of the desert. Okay, so you can find an oasis in the middle of the desert. And what is an oasis? An oasis is a place which is surrounded by water, where water is available and greenery is available. So people reside there. Okay, like let us consider that this is oasis. Okay, let us consider that this is oasis. So here you can find trees, you can find here a pool of water, you can find here houses. Fine. This area which is surrounded by water and where life exists, where animals live, human beings reside, you can see greenery, that is called oasis. Fine. So oasis can be available anywhere in the middle of the desert. Okay, it is not certain that you can go at some extent level and then you can find an oasis. No, that is wrong. You can find oasis anywhere in the middle of the desert. Clear to everyone? Okay, next. Deserts may consist of green plants and trees. Okay, so deserts may consist of green plants and trees, and this is possible where you can find oasis, because in oasis you will find water. You can find water, okay, and people, they live around the oasis. They live about in the oasis. Is it clear to everyone? Okay. Desert may consist of green plants and trees. Such plants and trees certainly provide comfort and shelter. Okay, so in the previous page I have told you that we hold the opinion that desert do not provide us any shelter. Yes or no? But see, now it was completely wrong, because desert also provide comfort and shelter. So wherever you find oasis, you can find trees, you can find shelter. Okay, that means you can find trees and you can find homes. Clear? So you can find there comfort and shelter. Furthermore, desert can consist of springs, and we can also say that desert can also consist of springs. Clear? Okay. Now next. Okay, next. Yes. Now see, a desert is a hot region, but it can also be a cold region like Ladakh. Okay, so it is said that a desert can be a hot region. Okay, we all know that a desert is a hot region, but we do not know that desert can also be a cold region like Ladakh. Okay, now see here, what happens in desert? It is that in daytime the sun becomes hot, it gets heated very fast. Okay, and as soon as the sun sets, as soon as the sun goes down, it gets cold immediately. So the day is very hot and the night is very cold. Fine. So this is the thing that we can find both temperature in a single day. We can find even a hot temperature as well as a cold temperature in a single day. Clear? Next. Sand dunes, it is not sand dunes, okay, it is sand dunes, D-U-N-E-S. Okay. Sand dunes are mounds comprising of a heap of sand that tend to move and shift endlessly at the time of strong winds. Okay. Now here it is the fact that there are sand dunes. Okay. You know what is sand dunes? Now sand dunes are mounds. Mound, okay. It is a mound which is a heap of sand. Okay. Heap means dheri. Okay. A mound is something round. Okay. Now Sand dunes are mound comprising of a heap of sand that tends to move and shift endlessly at a time of strong winds. Now see, whenever there is strong wind, okay, the wind can easily carry sand along with them. Okay. Now see, even in our place, wherever we stay, we can see even a slight pressure of air can carry dead leaves. Yes or no? A slight pressure of air can carry dead leaves from one place to another. Okay. And now sands are even lighter than dead leaves. So, when the strong winds blow, what does it do? It carry sand along with them. Okay. And as long as the wind goes on blowing, the sand, okay, of that particular place, it shifts from one place to another place, and it makes a heap of sand, it makes a mound, okay, which can cover anything very easily. Now, let me tell you. Okay. These sand dunes are also risky because, like suppose there is a human being, okay, there is a human being, and the sand dune suddenly started, okay, and when it start, it carry all the sand along with it, okay, and when it carry all the sand along with it, this area sand will be completely finished, okay, and it will be shifted to another place, okay, it will be shifted to another place, it can even cover a human being, fine. So, in this regard, sand dunes are really dangerous, okay. Now, this sand dunes, it shifts endlessly, fine, it shifts endlessly, that means taking a large portion of it. It stops only when the wind stops blowing. Clear to everyone? Okay, next. Next. A desert is a hot region, but can it also be a cold region like Ladakh? Okay. So, this I have already explained you up to here. Okay. Now, see here. Very few plants are able to survive on the shifting mounds of desert. Okay. Now, suppose there is a plant. Okay. Let us consider that there is a plant. Okay. And when the wind blew, carrying away all the sand, okay, then what will it do? It will cover the entire plant or entire tree. Okay. So, in this case, the survival of plant is very difficult. Okay. So, there are very few plants that are able to survive on the shifting mounds of desert. Shifting means to go from one place to another, that means to shift. Living things that are desert adapted, adapted means those who are able to live in desert. Okay. So, living things that are desert adapted are able to deal with scarcity of water. So, here this lines states that the living things who resides in desert are able to deal with scarcity of water. That means there is scarcity of water, pani ki kami, fine. But the living thing, those who are adapted to desert, they are able to deal, they are able to handle even the scarcity of water also. So, such animals are able to survive because they require less water for survival. Okay. So, how they are able to deal with even if there is scarcity of water? they are able to deal themselves because they require less water for survival. Okay, they need very less water in order to live. Survival means जीवित रहना, fine, because they need less water for survival, and this is the reason why those living animals or living things are able to live in desert. Fine. Okay. Now, who are those living things, living animals or trees or insects or human beings or whatever? We will learn it in the next video. Okay, so we have come to the end of the first video. So, the next part of this chapter will be explained in the next video. Okay, so I hope the first part of the chapter is clear to you. Yes, students? Okay, thank you for watching.